Okay, right. So our next conspiracy theory concerns the recent installation of 5G technology and the coronavirus, where there's a crossover between the supposed symptoms being caused not by a coronavirus, but by actually the 5G technology and the coronavirus handy cover story. Yes, it seems very implausible, but I was trying to get our teeth into that.
If you say implausible, but I've seen so many people like talking about it and saying that they believe it, and there's loads of things all over Facebook. I mean,
someone burned down a 5G
Facebook.
mast in Birmingham, didn't they?
Exactly.
So you've definitely seen these telegraph masts being burnt down, and also workers being confronted about.
Black the Ripper as well. He got supposedly assassinated for talking about 5G and coronavirus. So I think this is a big one.
Conspiracy in itself.
This is in the news and
conspiracy within a conspiracy, John. What do you call that?
Yeah,
conspiracy.
I won't go conspiracyception in episode 1.
There's a lot of conspiracies around 5G.
Looking forward to some future conspiracyception. So.
With 5G, there's enough out there for a whole podcast on 5G alone, not just its links to the coronavirus.
I've actually got 5G on my phone, and I
didn't know it was over.
I did develop a cough when Vodafone upgraded into 5G. So
I haven't developed brain cancer. Because that's what people seem to think that the electromagnetic radiation from the 5G causes.
We'll find out, Calum. We do know that the elderly are avid users of 5G, so...
Yeah, that's kind of where it falls down already, isn't it? Yeah, we'll let you carry on.
All over Twitter, it seems like even people, some high-profile celebrities, or Woody Harrelson, tweeting out about the dangers of 5G. So basically, a very impressionable audience, people who lack the critical thinking skills sometimes. So things sort of spread across the internet. And also you can sort of, well, not say see where people are coming from, but the way that these technology companies are scrambling to say, right, there's absolutely nothing wrong with 5G, get your 5G now. Oh, it's great, it'll be brilliant. So those people who are naturally skeptical about things, they also sometimes say, is it too good to be true? But that's still...
You can see why, because I don't remember 3G or even 4G getting absolutely rammed down our throats. But I'm hearing so much about 5G positive and negative.
Yeah.
I feel as well it's just like one of them things where people believe it can cause radiation, right? Like if you stick your head in the microwave. One of my friends always used to go.
You tried sticking it in the microwave?
I have, yeah. I mean, one of my friends would always go crazy at me if I opened the microwave before it actually like pinged. So I opened it when it's still at like 28 timer. They'd say that I'm gonna kill myself by doing that and be exposed to radiation. So these are sensible people.
You just swore at her with your third arm.
I suppose, but we're talking about 5G, but conspiracy theories around wireless connectivity have been around since its inception, really.
From the dawn of time, hasn't it?
So the internet.
Shit about 5G.
The internet has spawned many conspiracy theories about the internet, about mobile networks, electromagnetic radiation. So some of these conspiracy theories surrounding particularly 5G network have a little bit of grounding, but that's more related to the ethical and security concerns, especially with the deal for Huawei wanting to install our 5G. We've had Americans.
I'd also like to add I have got a Huawei phone, and this podcast is being recorded on my Huawei phone. So can we please play it a bit low on the anti-China conspiracies?
I'm sorry, but activate your sleeper agent status.
Thank you very much.
No wonder we got cut off earlier.
So like I say, back to the arson attacks and these telegraph poles and the masts. It seems like they're linking the recent coronavirus pandemic to the installation of these 5G networks purely based on the time at which 5G is now reaching the masses, and the coronavirus has also reached the masses. Both originate from China, I suppose. So people like to put two and two together there.
When was 5G first introduced then?
I think it's around 2018.
They just assume it has like a year and a half lag or something.
Yeah. But I say basically Wuhan had loads of 5G masts.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a city of 11
million. It's just generally correlation, but not causation. It's based pure coincidence. Also, going back to the health concerns, in fact, there's no real conclusive evidence exists to support the claims that say the higher frequency of 5G waves compared to 3 and 4G can cause brain cancer. Yet, these conspiracy theories do believe that 5G poses a very real health risk that's being covered up by telecoms companies and the governments. So this is a little bit in there when you consider previous cover-ups and misinformation regarding things like asbestos and thalidomide.
So I guess my question is why they cover up the damaging effects of 5G. Do they want people to die, or are they just happy to take money from telecommunications?
Well, I think plenty of times in the past people have put money over, life or illness or things like that. It wouldn't be the first time.
Our government is lovely, John.
You'd have to assume the government are in on it. They might not be. It could be a telecoms, like a 5G.
But it's a really heavily regulated industry, right?
It is, but they've admitted themselves, because I've heard about it before, that they didn't actually do very much testing. I can't remember his name, but somebody in the US on Donald Trump's, I don't know what the cabinet equivalent is, but he basically came out and said, well, we're going to bypass all the initial testing you need for 5G because we think the economic benefits will outweigh any potential things that could go wrong by kind of being a front runner and being a leader in the market rather than lagging behind everyone else. So there is some weight to that.
The argument that links the 5G to health risks seems to be based upon the increased frequency of the waves, when in fact an increased frequency of a wave reduces its power. So a higher frequency of electromagnetic radiation increases its safety. So and also the original research paper that was published, I say, erroneously, also failed to account for the protective effects of human skin, which can shield against intense radiation like the sun.
Yeah.
It's
I sat outside in the garden today and I'm not tan, so my skin's doing a lovely job.
Yeah, you say that, but I was out for about 10 minutes and I'm burned. Maybe I am vulnerable to 5G. You might be all right.
This thought pattern is extended to link 5G to the coronavirus epidemic, suggesting that 5G weakens immune systems and increases the spread of the virus. And another school of thought, I say school of thought very loosely, is that
they're shut.
Yes, they are shut. But I suppose say online conspiracy theory from their online classes.
They never should.
So is that the coronavirus is actually a cover-up for symptoms that are caused directly by 5G. But then these same people pushing this theory also deny basic medical facts, claim that you cannot catch a virus and vaccines cause autism. We're well known there's been many respiratory illnesses spread by coughs, diseases, close contact that originate from viruses. And also, going back to the argument of like the 5G masts being the ones causing the main spread of it, it's that China was the first to widely install 5G technology is debunked by the fact that one of the highest concentrations of cases occurred in Iran, in which there's no known 5G technology.
Does anyone know anyone in Iran with coronavirus?
Not personally.
I actually do know. Do know someone in Iran, and they
Reza?
are not the Charlton football legend Reza Gurjanian, and they are on lockdown right now. But I mean, I don't know if they know anyone with the virus. It could be their government putting them on lockdown. If you believe
don't know.
that kind of thing.
I think it was quite a slow reaction to the virus over there, as far as I'm aware. They seem to disregard it as being dangerous.
Well, they seem to be doing a lot better than us if you don't go back to the early conspiracy that countries can manipulate figures.
Yeah.
They are doing better than the UK based on statistics we have available.
That's mad. I remember when maybe if you go back like a week or two, it was like massively fucked ones. Italy, Iran, and now we're
South
quickly
Korea
emerging
as well, which is crazy.
Yeah, and now it's like UK, the US, like all the developed ones who are supposedly the best equipped for an outbreak. I suppose that's wait to 5G. I mean, we've got mass rollout of 5G. The US has mass rollout of 5G, and I think South Korea have more 5G mass than anywhere else in the country per kilometer.
I think South Korea have the fastest internet in the world.
Exactly. I suppose that's it's a bit of a link. Could again,
I think you need
2 + 2 is 5, but those BTS marks on a mad one.
Anyway, but going back to say figures again, but we're pretty much more honest with our figures, given that most of our cases can actually get to hospitals, so much more official recording of statistics. So that be
no, if you ask Blue Van Man, he couldn't get a bed for love nor money.
Well, I suppose individual cases, but when talking about the majority, we've got. Well, the hospital beds are filling up, but most people can get to hospitals, whereas these lesser developed countries don't know how many people have got it, have died from it, have not been recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were supposedly mass graves being built in Iran.
Yeah, I heard about those.
Yeah,
someone saw like a satellite view of it, but I don't know how much truth's in it.
It was on BBC News, actually, funny enough.
Oh, wow. Not much then.
It's my go-to source, guys.
Shoot.
I suppose if we were to draw this one to a close, the most concerning thing, as we touched on earlier, is how widespread this conspiracy is and how many different people, in the public eye especially, are actually spreading as if it's solid facts, which could definitely influence their mass followings and just cause this to spread like a virus on the internet, especially when you consider that the echo chamber communities in places like Twitter and Reddit.
Yeah. Especially when Lee Ryan from Brew said it. I mean, he's still got a massive following, hasn't he? Still got a place in my heart as well. Sadly, I'm not following him on this one, but, everything else he says, I worship.
You never know. We might get him on one day. You can talk about it.
I'd love to get Lee Ryan on. Lee Ryan from Blue, if you're listening. Drop us a like, mate. And a comment.
Hit that bell, will you?
Should we get on to the rating?
Yeah, I think also the rating. So for me, in terms of believability, it's a solid. It's a 2 on this one for me. But as a conspiracy theories go, it's got everything you'd want from one. It's got misleading the public, government cover-ups, public health, and also potential meddling by the powers that be. So as an overall conspiracy theory, it's got a solid 8 for me. As just purely rating on a conspiracy theory.
I'll agree with you there, Calum. I think it's a very good conspiracy theory to the extent it's got people burning down 5G masts. It's spread like the virus has itself, as you said.
It's bringing Calum back to his black metal days, that is.
In terms of believability, I do want to give it a 1, but I feel like I have to reserve a 1 for absolutely outlandish, ridiculous conspiracy theories.
Might be one of them coming up, you never know.
Yeah, so I will. You know what, I'm going to say 2 is a very outlandish theory too. So I'm just saying I don't believe it in the slightest, but I'm going to give it a 3.
That's fair enough. And John, do you want to chip in?
It really sounds like a population density problem to me, but
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've kind of seen maps that show the masts and the cases of coronavirus, and they're like identical. But then I've also seen a map over the top of population density, and it's also the same map. Yeah. So it's very much kind of correlation, not causation.
Masts in big cities, there's always going to be more people in big cities.
Exactly. But I will go higher than you guys. I think just the fact that the US government have so openly admitted they haven't done testing, that we know radiation can be harmful. We don't know a great deal about 5G, as much as some people would say that we do. I mean, the fact that it has been brushed through testing. But equally, I mean, I don't like the idea that the government or the telecoms industry is so corrupt that they would allow something this dangerous to be rolled out en masse. So I think for believability, I might go a 3.5. I'll be awkward and go in the middle. But then as a conspiracy, same as you guys, it's like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 conspiracy. It's got everything.
Right, there we go then. That's 5G and the coronavirus.